Good evening, Kenton community. My name is Sabatino Samato. I'm your superintendent, and this is your weekly connection update. Let's get a quick overview of the update. First, under my section, you'll find a piece on looking forward to the solar eclipse. You'll find a piece on advocating for fairer school funding, and then, of course, celebrating Women's History Month. Then we move on to the section for safety tips for families, this week focusing on mental health. Then we have, of course, our school and district highlights, and we finish it off with our recognitions, a student and several other recognitions in that section. Let's get a little bit deeper into the connection. First, under my section, looking forward to the solar eclipse. By now, everyone knows our spring recess has been extended through that last day, that Monday, April 8th, because that is the day of the total solar eclipse. And in Western New York, we're in the line of totality. So there's a lot of great things to come from that. There's also some precautions to take that all of us have to take together. Those precautions include we're sending all the students home next week with their own pair of the solar eclipse glasses. Every student in our district has received one. Those will be going home next week. But also in this section, we have some resources that families can use to not only educate, but to also look at safety tips dealing with the solar eclipse. The next piece under my update is advocating for fairer school funding. I joined Senator Ryan, Assemblyman Conrad, several other representatives, several other superintendents, teacher representatives. All of us came together last Friday for this news conference to speak about the changes that the governor has proposed in her budget to school funding. I really encourage you to read this section and understand that we are advocating for our school funding to remain the same way that it was last year, and why that's so important for our community. Then we get into celebrating Women's History Month, and we celebrate this week Taylor Caldwell, who was born in England, came to Buffalo in 1907. She began writing novels at the age of 12. She came to Buffalo at the age of 7. So you could see how quickly she progressed in becoming just a tremendous novelist in our history, representing Buffalo very well. She was a national bestseller, also a TV miniseries in 1976. Was created based on one of her novels. Check out that section on celebrating Women's History Month. And then we focus on safety tips for families. This week, we're really focusing on mental health. And folks, we know that we have a lot of mental health challenges, especially with our youth. There are some tips in here. The trick is, at the center of all of this, let's keep the conversation going. The more that we talk to our youth, the more that we talk to each other, the more that we're checking on each other, the more that we can truly help each other get through in times of need. And this section really focuses on that safety tips for families. Then we get to our school and district highlights. Kenmore West baseball program to host mattress fundraiser on Saturday, March 23rd. Kenmore East student wins Sunrise Exchange Club's Youth of the Year Award. Hoover Elementary staff compete in soup-off competition to promote wellness. Schools host various activities to celebrate Wellness Week. Irish step dancers perform for Hoover Elementary School students. District Blender Bike comes to Kenmore West High School. Kenmore West hosts Pi Day blood drive on March 14th for Connect Life. Kenmore East and Kenmore West support staff take part in the first ever drum circle. Take a look at Teaching Club students visit first grade classroom, and Lindbergh Elementary students take part in book swap for Love of Literacy Week. Folks, all of that happening around our wonderful district just in the past week or so. We finish off, speaking of wonderful, with our recognition. First, our student recognition. Claire Day, a senior at Kenmore West. We are so proud of you, Claire. Claire has earned a place in the National Shakespeare Competition semifinals. Claire will compete in regional competition and placed in the top 50 nationally, and she'll to cap off this achievement, she's earned a place in the competition, which will take place at the Lincoln Center in New York City. Congratulations, Claire. Wonderfully talented young woman. Read that piece on Claire Day. Then our final recognition, our assistant principals, our librarians, and our paraprofessionals. Now, these three individuals, why we're celebrating them all next week is because they're actually celebrated during the spring recess, and we're going to give them a day next week where we could just say thank you. So, National Assistant Principals Week begins April 1st. We're going to actually designate Monday, March 25th to recognize our assistant principals. National School Paraprofessional Appreciation Day is actually the first Wednesday in April each year. We're going to celebrate it next Wednesday, March 27th, celebrating our wonderful paraprofessionals. And then finally, our National School Librarians Day, that is April 4th every year, and we're going to celebrate that next Thursday, March 28th. And folks, thank you very much to all of those people. Thank you very much, Claire. And it just goes to show you how wonderful our community is. We're getting close to the break. I want us to keep our focus, maintain our focus, really talk to kiddos about finishing strongly. It is no coincidence that those last 4 days before break is usually when kids get a little bit off track because they are anticipating the break so much. So let's work together to keep those kiddos Kenton strong, to keep them Kenton proud, and make sure they're moving Kenton forward. Thank you very much and have a wonderful weekend.